Aerial lifts, a safety meeting brought to you by weeklysafety.com. Welcome to today's safety meeting. Our focus is aerial lift safety, which is an important topic for workers in any industry who may operate or work around these devices. Knowing how to recognize hazards and use aerial lifts properly can prevent serious injuries and save lives. Understanding aerial lifts. Aerial lifts are vehicle-mounted platforms used to raise workers so they can perform tasks at heights. Because of their mobility and reach, they are often used instead of ladders or scaffolding. These include extendable boom platforms, aerial ladders, articulating boom platforms, vertical towers, and combinations of these systems. Extensible boom lifts allow access to elevated areas without the need for cranes or complex scaffolding, while articulating lifts offer flexibility in tight or awkward spaces such as high ceilings or angled locations. No one is allowed to operate an aerial lift unless they've been trained and specifically authorized by their employer. This is a requirement, not just a suggestion. Every worker must understand the hazards involved and know how to avoid unsafe conditions that could result in serious injuries or fatalities. Hazards and risks. Working with aerial lifts comes with a set of risks that all operators and nearby personnel must recognize. Aerial lift hazards include falls or ejections from the platform, tipping incidents caused by unstable surfaces or improper operation, and accidental contact with overhead power lines leading to electric shock or electrocution. Falling tools or materials can strike others below, while entanglement with equipment or being hit by the lift itself can also cause harm. These dangers affect not just the person in the basket but everyone in the surrounding work zone. Before using any aerial lift, there are two inspections that are essential: a pre-start inspection of the lift and vehicle, and a work zone inspection. Pre-use safety check. The pre-start inspection must cover all the lift's major systems and components. Operators should check that the lift and emergency controls are functioning properly. All hydraulic, pneumatic, fuel, and electrical systems are in good condition, and that the safety features such as fall protection anchor points and warning labels are present and readable. Lights, alarms, cables, wiring, fasteners, and guardrails should be thoroughly examined. If any part of the lift is damaged or malfunctioning, the equipment must be removed from service and tagged until repairs are made. Evaluating the work area. A safe job site is just as important as a safe machine. Before moving the lift into place, carefully inspect the work zone. Look for holes, slopes, loose debris, unstable ground, or poor weather conditions that could compromise the stability of the lift. Rain, sleet, or ice can make surfaces slippery and dangerous, and high winds can affect the balance of the elevated platform. Check for adequate clearance if working indoors or under structures. When other workers, pedestrians, or vehicle traffic are nearby, use cones, signs, or barricades to warn them of the hazard area. Never operate an aerial lift in a poorly ventilated or poorly lit space. Power lines and other overhead obstructions must be identified and avoided. Safe operation practices. While operating an aerial lift, maintaining stability is critical. Outriggers should be positioned on a solid, level surface or on approved pads. Brakes must be engaged, and if the lift is set up on a slope, wheel chocks should be used when it is safe to do so. Never move the lift with the boom elevated unless it is designed specifically for that kind of movement. Each lift has its own reach limits and load capacity. The combined weight of the worker, tools, and materials must stay within the platform's rated capacity. Lifts are not cranes and must not be used to carry oversized or bulky items that extend outside the platform. Fall protection is a key part of aerial lift safety. Operators must remain standing firmly on the floor of the platform at all times. It is never acceptable to climb, sit, or lean over the guardrails or basket edge. Access gates or platform chains should remain closed during operation. A body harness or restraining belt with a lanyard must be used and attached to an approved anchor point on the lift. Tying off to a nearby pole, building, or any other structure is not allowed. Loose clothing and long hair should be secured to avoid the risk of entanglement. Electrical hazards. Contact with electricity is one of the most dangerous risks associated with aerial lift work. Always scan for overhead lines and electrical connections before and during lift use. Any electrical lines in the work area should be de-energized and grounded or isolated with barriers that prevent contact. These precautions must be in place before starting work. Always treat overhead lines as energized unless you have confirmed otherwise with the utility company or the responsible party. Never alter the platform in any way. Drilling holes or modifying the lift can reduce its insulating value and put workers at risk. Aerial lift safety reminders. Each aerial lift comes with specific manufacturer instructions. These include guidelines for how and when to move the lift, limits on how high or far it can reach, and rules about safe operation. These rules are there for a reason and must be followed without exception. Aerial lift operators must never override or disable any mechanical, hydraulic, or electrical safety features because doing so puts everyone in danger. Finally, keep your focus while operating the lift. Do not work while tired, distracted, or under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Never allow unauthorized individuals to operate or even ride in an aerial lift. Every part of the operation, from pre-inspection to cleanup, requires care and attention. Aerial lifts are versatile tools that can help us work more efficiently at heights, but they demand respect and proper handling. Follow the rules, watch your surroundings, and commit to doing every job with safety as your top priority. Thank you for participating in today's safety meeting.